Right, so this is my new Teensy LFO, and I've got a rate control here. You can see that it's got a minimum period of 10 seconds, and it can go right up as fast as 10 hertz, 11 hertz, something like that. So I'll just zoom in. So I can control the rate with this knob, and it's got 5 outputs. There's a square wave coming out here, and then these 2 DACs, MCP4822. So we'll plug this in here. You'll see we've got a ramp wave, and so for each of the 4 outputs on these DACs, we've got 2 controls for each of them. Well, first of all, you've got the rate control. Then I can set the phase of each wave independently across full 360 degrees. And then I can morph between different wave shapes. And the morph control is unique to each channel. So this sets the phase and the morph for channel A1 of the DAC. So the first channel's got a whole load of interesting waves on it. As you can see there. And then if I go to channel 2, I've got this exponential logarithmic. I can control the phase of that one independently as well. And I can morph between exponential and logarithmic. Then channel 3, I've got just a basic sine wave. Again, control the phase independently, and I can morph between a triangle and a sine. And then on channel 4, I've got phase control for that. And that can morph to a triangle wave from a ramp down to a ramp up. I haven't quite decided exactly what sort of waves I'm going to put on each channel yet. Like for example, this one This one goes from exponential ramp up to a logarithmic ramp up, whereas I'd like to put maybe 4 waves on that so it can morph between ramp up and ramp down, exponential and logarithmic. So here's the panel for the Eurorack module. I'll have these blue things are all pots, so I'll have a coarse rate control, a fine rate control, and then we'll have a CV input for the rate, which this will be the amount of CV. And I can set the oscillator to sync or reset by plugging in an external signal here, and then I can enable or disable that with this. And then these knobs here will just be setting the phase and the morph for each of the 4 different outputs. The square wave is more like a reference, so it's not morphable. And then these will just be LEDs for each of the different outputs. I'm going to set the output of each of these to be bipolar so that they're compatible with Eurorack. And I'll probably use bicolored LEDs for this, so like say red when it's positive and green when it's negative or something like that. See how it goes. So I still have a whole load of circuitry to come up with for this. Like need to have a summon amplifier for the rate control and the rate CV. And then I need to condition the outputs of this so that they're not unipolar, so that they'll be bipolar. Because at the minute you can see it just it's all positive. There's no negative side to the wave. So when I'm done, this will be a 10 volt peak to peak plus and minus 5 volt signal compatible with Eurorack. And that's it for now. More circuitry to follow.